Hello and welcome back to revise GCSEhistory.co.uk. This is video 3 in the topic of the homesteaders, and in this video today we're going to be looking at the role of women in homesteading. Hopefully this should be quite a quick video today because there's not actually much you need to know on this area, just a few points you need to take away and learn. So if I don't go on too much, it should be quite a quick video. So female homesteaders. The role of women in homesteading was extremely important. Women worked hard alone. Women had to work alone at home whilst the men were farming their homesteads alone at home. The rest of the family depended on women to keep them alive. And the lives of female homesteaders were extremely unpleasant, and they faced many dangers, but their role was often crucial. And while I'm here, let's just talk a bit about the pictures up here. So this shows the life of a homesteader. This picture, you can see log cabins, a nice stream here, colourful, fertile looking trees. Look at the grass, very green and fertile looking. We've got a tree that's been cut down here. There's no scarcity of wood, but life was not like that. This cartoon has been probably published because of Manifest Destiny, and it's been probably published by the US government to encourage people to become homesteaders and to live on the Great Plains. This is not realistically what life was like. We know there was a real scarcity of water, so we wouldn't have lakes like this. There was a scarcity of wood and building materials. We wouldn't see these trees, and we certainly wouldn't see these log cabins. And look at the rich, fertile grasslands. That wasn't a reality, as the lands were tough. They'd never been ploughed a farm before. So be wary of sources like this, and you'll meet them in exam questions, and they are not a realistic view of what life was like, and particularly what life for women was like, as this source here gives quite a romanticised fantasy view. Living on the Great Plains is quite a romantic thing. You can see a woman here with a child while her husband's out farming in the fields. She's just at home. She's got quite a cushy lifestyle, but really the reality wasn't like that at all, so just be wary. As you can see, this picture here is probably more a realistic one of what the life was women was like. She's alone, working hard, and she doesn't look like she's enjoying herself. So what jobs did female homesteaders do? You need to learn these. Well, they made and washed the clothes, prepared food for their family, tended the animals, protected crops, made household items such as soap and candles. Remember, there were no shops they could just nip out to. They had to make everything themselves, and they used natural remedies to care for the medical needs of their families. So there's a list of jobs that women homesteaders did. You just need to learn them. So what dangers did women face? We've said that their role was crucial, but quite unpleasant and quite dangerous. So many female homesteaders now had no social life, and this was because of the long distances between farmhouses. There were also no doctors and midwives to help care for the health of women. Women sometimes also came into contact with hostile Indians, and sometimes came into contact with cattle barons and cowboys that weren't particularly friendly. Women sometimes suffered mental health problems. This was due to the lack of social life and the heavy, stressful workload on the plains, and there were also law and order problems at the time. So again, just a list of some of the dangers that women faced as homesteaders that you need to learn and be aware of. So, we've actually covered all the knowledge that we need to go over for today's video. Really, there are just sort of two lists of information you need to be aware of. This first slide is a bit of an introduction, so that's everything we need to know. So, just to check you've picked up the key points for today's video, here are 4 questions based on what we've talked through. So pause the video here, jot down some answers if you want. If not, carry on watching, we'll do the answers now. Question 1, why did women have to make household items? Well, there were no shops they could buy stuff from, and they had to make things themselves. Question 2, again, this painting here gives quite an unrealistic view of what it was like, as they're just out picking flowers rather than doing any work. But yeah, be wary of those. Question 2, give 2 jobs that female homesteaders did. Made, washed clothes, prepared food for the family. There are just 2, I can think of loads more, such as tending the animals, caring for the medical needs of their family, making household items. Go back to the slide to check the answers you've written down were valid. I'm sure they will be. Question 3. Why did women sometimes suffer mental health conditions? Due to isolation and the lack of a social life. This was because of the incredibly huge distances between farmhouses. And finally, question 4. Give 2 dangers that female homesteaders faced when farming on the plains. The first I can think of is contact with hostile Indians. And another one I can think of is isolation, I'm going to go for. There are other things you could have had, and if you check back to this slide, you could have had any of these here. Okay, there are the answers to the 4 little questions for today's video. Thanks for watching this video today. I do hope you found it useful. Next, in the topic of the homesteaders, we're going to be looking at the impact of the railroad, and we're going to be doing that next video. So carry on watching to find out more, and I'll see you guys soon.